The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the participants and do not reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
BronxNet. Your voice, your views, your vision.
Bronxites, I'm your host, Darren Jaime. Today is Wednesday, January 9th, 2013. Of course, you're watching Open, the only live interactive program bringing the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. Now, we do want to hear from you, so tweet us throughout the show at BronxNet TV. We'll tell you about what's on the air throughout our program, and we encourage you also to share your tweets, and you might just get a tweet back from us. Well, our first guest is a doctor at Montefiore Children's Hospital. Recently, she was appointed to the Westchester County Laboratory and Research Board of Managers, where her tasks include overseeing quality assurance as well as budgetary matters. She's here now to discuss these tasks as well as juvenile diabetes, a disease widely spread throughout our borough. We welcome now Dr. Rubina Heptela to the Open, and we thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you.
So exactly what does this new position mean?
The new position is I'm part of a board of 4 other members at Westchester County. Some of them are physicians, and we oversee many laboratories that are functioning in Westchester County, including the forensic laboratory, and we work with Dr. Asher, who's the medical examiner for Westchester County, and I work at Montefiore Medical Center at the Children's Hospital, but I live in Westchester County in Rye.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think that you're going to be able to bring to the board to help them to get to the next level?
I have just been appointed, and my goals are to understand what the current situation of the county laboratories are and provide oversight and quality assurance to the many laboratories that are functioning in the county.
Mm-hmm. There are a lot of budgetary matters, and so how do you deal with the equality when it comes to budgetary matters? Because we hear so much, and we talk about it here on the news about cuts, and especially cuts to the medical field and things of that nature. How are you going to be able to tackle and deal with some of these budgetary issues?
I think it's going to be challenging going forward. I think the laboratories have been protected from a lot of budgetary cuts because we want to have quality in the laboratory setting.
Mm-hmm. And so as far as wanting to see something happen, if you could really say, like right now, I feel like, I'm glad I'm appointed to the board, there's something that I really want to see happen, what would that be?
I would like to have the highest quality work being done in those laboratories. I think that is the main thing that I would like to see. At some point, if they had to restructure or something of that nature, this is the board that would look into those issues as well.
Mm-hmm. Here in the borough of the Bronx is where you're housed, and you've been doing some great work here. And a lot of it's been centered on diabetes, particularly juvenile diabetes. Are we seeing rising numbers continuously? Because we know this is really a pandemic here for us in the borough. Are the numbers continuing to rise, or are we seeing a falling off?
What I want to say that there are 2 types of diabetes. There's type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes. Mm-hmm. Type 1 diabetes has always been present in the Bronx and throughout the world in children, and that occurs because of autoimmune disease. What you're talking about, juvenile diabetes, is really diabetes associated with obesity, which used to occur in adults with type 2 diabetes, but now it's happening earlier in teenagers and adolescents, and even as young as 8 years of age. Mm-hmm. So that is on the rise. That is an exponential rise. And as long as the obesity epidemic continues, this rise in pediatric type 2 diabetes will mirror the rise in pediatric obesity.
So when you talk about our borough, we look at the fact that there is obesity, and we talk about childhood obesity amongst young people. So these are definitely contributing factors in the area of diabetes. What can you recommend to a parent that might be out there watching who says, listen, I want to make sure that my child doesn't get on this track, and if they are on this track, what are some of the symptoms and things they need to really look out for?
So it's really important, if your child is overweight, to get to your pediatrician on time so they can give you the advice necessary to have a better diet. It's also important to keep your child active in the school and at home, take them to the parks, and encourage the school to have more gym. Just yesterday, a family told me that they didn't have gym anymore because the basketball team was practicing, so they stopped the other kids from having gym. But gym is not something optional for schools. It should be just part of the curriculum. One day they may say, no, I don't think we're going to have science fair, or we're not going to do science in our school. Well, that's not an option. The same way gym is not an option that parents, and parents need to be advocates for their children. So if they want to monitor for symptoms, the things that they need to really watch out for is if there's an obese child that starts to lose weight for no particular reason, then it would be abnormal. That would be indication that diabetes is happening. Or they have increased urination, and actually they're very thirsty. So if they have these three symptoms, weight loss, increased urination, and increased thirst, it is a symptom of both types of diabetes, type 1 and type 2 diabetes. And that's very urgent. They need to get to a hospital.
You're the doctor. A lot of people fear the doctor. Let's just be real. There's a lot of people say, the last thing I want to do is go to the doctor and deal with the doctor. But when you deal in the area of diabetes, very treatable.
Yes.
So give us a little bit about treatment and letting people know, because some people fear the worst, but there are some treatments, and it's also somewhat preventable.
Exactly. I think the best treatment is prevention. When your child is getting overweight, which we now unfortunately see even toddlers getting overweight, is to put a stop to those regular sodas and switch them over to water, or diet at least, if nothing else. Stop those junk foods, stop buying those big bags of Cheetos at home. Encourage the children to eat more vegetables and fruit, and get out there and get some fresh air and exercise. I think that would be the best way to prevent diabetes in children at all, because we never saw this 15 years ago. This is new for our field. I can say that in medical school I never learned about pediatric type 2 diabetes. There was no such thing. So it's all preventable. But once you get diabetes, you still need to continue on this path of lifestyle modifications, of exercise and good healthy eating. And then if that fails, of course there's medication, which many of our children do go on, but it's not the end of the world. They can continue to take medications, continue to have a healthy lifestyle, and continue to function normally in school and be good citizens in the future. It's just that unfortunately complications would occur earlier now because they were children when they were diagnosed as having diabetes.
And it seems like a very simple question to ask, but somebody has diabetes, they say, I'll never be able to get over it. That answer is?
That's not true. You will be able to overcome just about everything. And I think you can have a normal life as long as you follow the instructions of the doctor, follow lifestyle modifications, take your medications, check your blood sugar, and things will be good.
Dr. Rubina Heptela is the chief of the division of the pediatric endocrinology and diabetes at the Children's Hospital of Montefiore Medical Center. And as we said, she's been recently appointed to the Westchester County Laboratories and Research Board of Managers. Congratulations to you. Now, have you already started? When do you start? What is it? With the board? When does it start?
I think in the next couple of months we have our first meeting.
All righty. Well, best wishes. You come back and let us know how things are going.
Thank you so much.
All righty. Dr. Rubina Heptela. Remember, we are on Open, a live and interactive talk show. We encourage you to join in on the conversation. You can follow our social media pages at Twitter, BronxNet TV. Also, you can go to Facebook at facebook.com, Open BronxNet Television. There you can like, share, find out information about past episodes, and also let us know what you think about a possible upcoming episode. Well, the Partnership for a Healthier New York was formed in collaboration with community leaders and organizations around New York City. Its goal to improve access to healthier foods and reduce excessive drinking and smoking for youth. Here to share more about their organization and the efforts to reduce underage drinking is Jennifer Ritchie, Communications Director, and Takesha White, which is Community Engagement Director. We welcome you both.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So give us a little bit about this here.
So basically, the Partnership for Healthier New York City is still, in the beginning of phases of getting started. We've done a lot of work, and our focus is on environmental change strategies, which most people think of the environment, they think of going green, but really what it means to us from a public health standpoint is changing the way the environment looks around people so that it's easier to make the healthy choice when you're going to the supermarket, when you're going to exercise, that those things are accessible for all New Yorkers so that they can lead healthier lives.
Mm-hmm. And so, Keisha, you're talking about getting the community involved and getting them engaged. Talk about how you're doing that.
Well, the first thing is you can go to our website, Healthier NYC, and you can click on Get Involved. So our coalitions are open. We're asking everyone in the community to come. We want the public to be at the table when they're talking about public health. So we engage community-based organizations, stakeholders, leaders, individuals who know a lot of people and are serious about making their community healthy. All those things are at the table, and we're excited about people sharing, what they think are good ideas, good strategies to improve their communities.
Mm-hmm. We talked recently, Mayor Bloomberg has always been in the headlines, I should say, talking about improving in terms of beverage choices and talking about that. Something of a passion for you guys, too, because when you talk about improving, healthier food and beverage choices, give us a little bit about what you really would like to see occur.
What we'd like to see is we want to raise awareness. We want people to know how their choices really affect their long-term outcomes in their health. So our main goal and the overall goal of the Community Transformation Grant is to reduce chronic disease by 5% citywide. So the four contributing factors in preventable chronic disease are healthy eating, active living, underage and excessive alcohol use, as well as smoke-free living. And when we speak about smoke-free living, we really talk about secondhand smoke. Mm-hmm. So reducing people's exposure to smoke in high-rise buildings. I mean, here in New York City, we live on top of one another. It's not like we're very spread out. So someone on the third floor could have an asthmatic child, and then there's a smoker on the second floor. And there's really no divide between those two homes. So we really just focus on those issues, and we want to make sure that everyone, is free to make the choice to live healthier, and that we're not inhibiting each other from making those choices.
Keisha, as you get the message out, what's been the response of people when you talk about this? Because you listen to our media reports and you see sometimes people have mixed reviews. Okay, we want people to be involved in a healthier lifestyle. And then you have other people say, "Look, mind your business." What's
you know what? The thing is that people care about their communities. So if you bring people to the table and you really want to hear what they're thinking, then they're going to tell you. So, our response has been great. When we ask people to come to a coalition meeting, they're coming out and they're talking about what's important to them. When we have listening sessions, we're listening to what they're saying, and then we're creating our strategies based on their influence, like their input. So yeah, people are going to say, I get the choice to make my own, dinner, and I want white rice or whatever it is they want to eat. But we sit with them and we talk to them about, okay, well, do you have access to all the food that you need? What does your community look like? If you want some fresh fruit, is it available in your neighborhood? How far do you have to go to get to a restaurant or a grocery store or anywhere that would serve healthy options? And we talk about how we can make those choices, more readily available for them. And people are excited about it.
What are we hearing from people? I mean, you've been out there on the battlefield at the grassroots level. What are we hearing?
Basically, we're hearing that people don't want to be in smoke-filled housing. People prefer to have smoke-free housing. People prefer, to have access to fruits and vegetables. And access means also affordability. We're right now hosting screenings citywide for A Place at the Table. It's a it's about hunger in the United States, and it is a real issue, and having access to those healthy foods also means that they're affordable. So it's really, people want access, people want to live, they want the option to live
and
healthier.
They want equity. People want to live on a level playing field. If you can eat it, I should be able to eat it. If you can go work out there, I should be able to go work out there. And people want to see that across the neighborhoods. They don't want to have to move to a totally different neighborhood, a totally different culture, just so that they can have access to healthy lives.
I know you're getting ready to preach to the choir here on this one, but to somebody out there who's watching, he says, listen, you know what? Access to fresh fruit and vegetables, that seems like a norm. That seems like regular. But we know that for many people, that's not the norm.
It's not.
Especially, right here in the Bronx, you have Hunts Point, where all the fresh fruits and vegetables and produce come through the Bronx, but a lot of it goes right past the Bronx. And so it is a really big issue. And yeah, it is the norm. It is the norm in my neighborhood. However, it's not the norm in everyone's neighborhood. And we just want to, like Keisha said, health equity is really the goal here.
Sometimes people don't know how bad it is until, they actually
So
come
you live
together
it.
here and, or actually live it.
Yeah.
So in terms of getting the people involved and getting the community involved, how do they go about doing that? Because somebody's saying, listen, this sounds like something I really need to be a part of.
Yeah, so you can visit us on the web. You can come to our website. Like I said, we have tons of opportunities there for you to get involved. There's always listings of our events. Like this month is Alcohol Awareness Month. We're having a great event going on. There's also a youth-produced film happening tonight that people can come and see about excessive alcohol use and drinking under the age of 21. So, that we always have opportunities for people to come see films, come to coalition meetings, and those things are readily available on our site. Also, you can click on Get Involved, put your information in. I will personally call you back.
She will. She means that.
Yeah.
So yeah, today, as Keisha mentioned, at 4 p.m. at West Farms Library, where it's a free screening of a youth-produced documentary, and it's called Under 21, Why We Drink. It's a short documentary, probably under 20 minutes, and it really illustrates how the youth in New York City experience alcohol and make choices as a result of that. We also have a really great alcohol awareness event. It's called Uncovering the Hidden Harms of Alcohol, and it's next week on April 10th at 4:30. It's on 67th in Columbus. So I invite everyone to come and see some great films, some great art that we have to display there.
And there you see the information on the bottom, well, actually on the screen, full screen right there, that you can see about alcohol and uncovering alcohol's hidden harms. And it's amazing to know that when people, people just look at it from one perspective, that it's just alcohol, this and that, but not really understand the full ramifications, if you will. After people have the experience of participating in forums and sessions and that, I'll ask the question, what do they really, what's the takeaway that you're hearing from people?
Wow,
Well,
change lives.
Yeah, I mean, and we're not really focused on the individual and addiction per se, but we're really focused on, because alcohol affects us in a variety of ways. For instance, say you live on the Lower East Side, or you live above an establishment where it's constantly noisy or people are getting in fights. It's a safety issue a lot of times. So we're really examining how it's affecting the community at large and not necessarily focusing on the drinker. So, and there are, long-term consequences to starting. The research shows that there are, consequences to starting drinking before your brain is fully developed.
So going back to the Partnership for a Healthier New York City, you've got partners all across, and talk about the borough of the Bronx and what we're doing here.
We have great things happening in the Bronx. We partner with Bronx Health Reach, the Institute for Family Health, and we have, across the city actually, we have over 30 partners that are engaged directly into the Partnership for Healthier New York City. We just recently granted 30 neighborhood contractors with $10,000 contracts to amplify the work that they are already doing in the community. So these are people who are passionate, creative, innovative, creating projects in their communities that are going to change the environment. And we've already provided support in that area. So with that, and then on top of that, 377 partners citywide. So in the Bronx specifically, we have seen all sorts of work with, from bodegas to youth health to, smoke-free housing. All types of things are taking place in the Bronx.
All right. Well, Keisha White and Jennifer Ritchie, thank you so much for coming and sharing
Thank
with
you.
us. And of course, let's do this before. One more time, give out the contact information if they want to get in touch.
It's www.healthiernyc.org, and click on Get Involved. And you can find us on Facebook at /HealthierNYC, as well as Twitter. and soon on Pinterest.
Alrighty.
Healthier NYC.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, thank you. And we'll be back. Guess what? Taking a quick break, but when we return, we got more for you.
Do you have muscle weakness, double vision, trouble chewing or swallowing? You could have myasthenia gravis, a disease which causes severe weakness in the muscles of the body. You can get MG at any age. It can affect your ability to see, speak, walk, smile, or even breathe. Although not curable, with proper treatment, you can lead a productive life.
Host of Open, tune in every Friday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox
Be free. Nice, Dad. Nice, Dad. Nice.
Charles!
Nice, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Welcome back to the studio. Our next guest bridges the gap in Latin music, and well, he knows his way around the business as well. He was a former music partner of Jose Josex. He also won MTV's TR3's DameUnBreak.com competition, and will be working with multiple Grammy winner. Please welcome to the show, Loquísimo. Hola.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So, I know you're going to perform for us later, but just share a little bit about your experience during the competition.
Well, it was really intense, I can say. You know, you had like the whole nation voting for artists. There was like over 500 artists, and they was voting for the best song, for the best artist. So basically, I came up like #1 like on the charts on it, and after that we just flew to Cali and recorded this song with a Grammy producer.
Right. What's his name?
Sebastian Christ.
Right. Sebastian Christ, who actually worked with Gloria Estefan, Mark Anthony, Shakira.
Yes, he's a big time dude. So he was really a nice dude too. So he was really humble. So I really had fun with him making like the song, the whole process.
So did you write your music?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. It's awesome when you can actually write it and perform it as well. Now, when you won that competition, what did that do for your career? How did it shift everything for you?
Well, everything just became global because, everybody, knows me from that, from that moment. It's like a moment, like before I was doing that, I was just, basically just doing local shows. But once I hit, it takes you to a whole nother level. So you're doing shows everywhere, Europe, Puerto Rico. So it's like a whole different scale now.
You're on a whole different scale now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you touring now?
Well, my next tour is gonna be Dominican Republic. I'm going over there in October.
And what would you consider your genre of music? I mean, I know you do the reggaeton, but you actually do some other stuff as well.
Well, I do more like Latin urban, because everything I do is more like it has a twist of more like urban sound. So I try to do I try to blend like different kinds of music. It doesn't matter what it is. I just try to put the urban sound to it.
So in your of all your music, do you write them all?
All of them, yeah.
All of them. So where do you see yourself in like 5 years from now?
Well, doing the same thing. This is like my life. Everything I do is music. So I just gotta keep going. Like I don't really see myself like, I'm gonna be doing these great things. I'm gonna be doing this, because I'm always gonna be doing the same thing. And I know I'm gonna keep going forward, and I'm gonna do bigger things because this is what I love to do.
Right. No, it's a beautiful thing because, some people, they know they just want to be a performer, or they know that they just want to be a producer, but it sounds to me like you just know that music is what you're about.
Yeah, that's all, if you know, like, what you want to do with your life, you're always going to go forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people like get into music and they like do it for the wrong reasons. You really gotta.
What are the wrong reasons?
The wrong reasons is just money, try to get girls, try to, just try to be out there so people be like, oh wow, that's the guy,
Right.
But that's not the reason. Like music is the type of thing that you gotta feel it. When you go on stage, you don't go on stage thinking about getting girls or nothing. You go on stage like, wow, I wanna really rock it. I wanna really people to come up to me after the show and be like, wow, nice show. So, that's the whole, that's the whole passion you gotta have for it.
No, it's a beautiful thing. Now, when you write your music, do you write with any intent? Actually, not write with any, of course you write with intent. What intent do you have in leaving as a message to your audience?
Well, I think every song has a story. And like, I try to write a lot about my own life, like my own, personal life about the songs. Like the last song that I'm doing now is called Ayer y Hoy, which means yesterday and today. Like yesterday I had nothing, and today I have everything. But it talks about the struggle that I went from before to like now. So it's not an easy task, to write a song like that, because you go to a whole different, you go to you go to a lot of things.
I know what you're talking about.
And to make it in 3 minutes, it's really tough. So.
What do you mean? Like, in other words, you have to go through a whole like story of your life.
You have to think about where you started and where you are now and put it in 3 minutes.
In 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So what kind of process is that?
Just think.
No, well, of course you think, but I'm just saying as far as like your technique, I guess is what I'm asking. Like,
well, my technique is I think about metaphors a lot. So I try to relate, like, what my life, how can I put my life as a metaphor? Like, if my life is cold, I try to put it like, like my cold, like my heart is cold. Something, you gotta try to use metaphors so people can, get your message. Not saying a whole story like, like normal people do. Like, I woke up, went to the bathroom, brushed my teeth. You gotta make sure.
I woke up with the.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you say difference. People be like, oh, okay, he's trying to say that.
It's poetry.
Yeah, poetry.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us. Now, what are you going to be singing for us today?
Well, the song is called Ayer y Hoy. It's a song produced by Blackie RD. He's one of the top guys in the Dominican Republic. It has like a new sound. I've never done this, type of sound. So I'm just, bringing a new sound to it. And, people are really loving it. Like DJs are really loving it. I already got like 22,000 downloads on it.
Nice.
So it's doing
on iTunes?
Pretty good. On Hokechair.
On Hokechair?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I heard you get a lot of play in LA too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Good. I'm glad you're here with us.
Thank you for having me. This is not my first time. I've been here a couple of times with you. So.
No, with me?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's only right.
Did you like shoot up or something? You must have blown up. Like.
No, I just grew up. I grew up.
You did. Oh my gosh, my age is about to hit me. Oh my goodness. Oh well, then I should say thank you for coming back.
No, thank you for having me again.
Of course. Oh my gosh. I'm like lost for words because you definitely shot up.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at you, I'm like, wow. All right, so I'm looking forward to this and congratulations.
Thank you.
For more, you can check them out by going to loquissimolife.wix.com/loquissimo. Oh boy, I hope you had a time for that one. Or you can just follow him on Twitter by going to @loquissimo. Don't go there. We'll be right back.
Sir, are you okay?
Everything's fine. Thanks.
You wouldn't ignore this, so why ignore the signs of a stroke? Call 911 immediately, because time lost is brain lost.
If you want hot topics, current news, fashion advice, and humor included, then Open 2.0 is a show for you. We've got it all, so tune in every Friday at 4:30 p.m.
Welcome back to Open. Reina Valentin here, and whether truly Afro-Latina or just dark-skinned, the battle of the Black Latina in today's society and even fighting against old country concept is tough. That's right. So the new play called What Else, right? Black Latina, tries to bring some of these struggles to the forefront, that is. And today we have Crystal, Denise, and Anaridia on set to discuss what this play is all about. Thank you for joining us, ladies.
Thank you for having us. Hi.
Now, Black Latina actually premiered in January, right? You guys had a run in January. And you all played different roles of Black Latina. So, Crystal, would you like to begin with your character and what you represent?
Actually, the show was started in 2008,
right.
And it was a one-woman show that I wrote and produced, and I performed it. And then trying to, you know, develop it and change it up a little bit, we decided to enter different characters. And so now we broke it down. Our great director, Veronica Casedo, she broke it down and made it 5 characters.
Nice.
So these women play 2 of the characters.
Nice, nice, nice. And so what are the backgrounds of these characters?
They're developed into emotions.
Okay.
So there's anger, sad, love, and empowered.
Nice.
And you see the transition of the struggle of being angry by either yourself, self-loathing yourself, or the way society makes you feel being closed in and boxed in. And then going through that sadness, your family not, you know, accepting it, that internalized racism, to them being in love and empowered and just embracing who you are. So these ladies go on that journey.
Okay, so Denise, what do you consider a Black Latina?
I think it's different for every person, and I think the most important thing about this piece that Crystal has created is that everyone can find themselves in the work. I happen to be Black and Russian, and just being biracial and bicultural, I found that it hit home for me personally as well.
And in what sense? Is it the actual emotional struggle, the internal struggle of not necessarily belonging to one or the other?
It's definitely that. I think everyone tries to find out who they are in this lifetime, and then having your parents contribute in different ways, it's definitely a complex journey.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Of trying to find yourself and fit in and redefine who you can be.
Yeah. And you're from Dominican Republic.
Yes.
It's Anaridia.
Anaridia.
I knew that was going to happen. I told you it was going to happen. Anaridia. So
Yeah.
coming from Dominican Republic, right? And I'm just going to use this as an example because, you know, I can identify, obviously, because I'm a Black Latina, right? So the hair plays a role. And you wore your hair curly today, as
Yes.
did I, right?
Yes.
And so it's kind of like, you know, there's a relation there, right? And then there's somebody within your space or where your family maybe even that is white and has blonde hair. Is there racism in that factor?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the hair part because actually being in Black Latina has actually made me embrace my hair. When I used to live in Dominican Republic, my hair used to be straight all the time. My dad probably, or my family, if they see me like this, they will be like, here's the money, go to the salon. You know, it's not really adaptable. It's not really what it happens. And just being in the play made me embrace my beautiful hair that I can just wear it and have it curly and enjoy it. And it's just amazing. And I feel happy to be able to do that and embrace it, you know? Yeah.
You know, I think that's a big revelation because, you know, the beauty of having curly hair is that you get to wear it both ways.
And it's amazing. That's true.
And those people pay hundreds of dollars to get it like
Exactly.
So, you know what's really beautiful about what you shared in describing the play and the actual characters is that you reference diversity, not necessarily the racism or the cultural backgrounds, right? Because I believe you have characters that are like Afro-Brazilian and really what it's about actually having some type of component of your Black heritage showing through.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, the majority of us come from the motherland, you know.
Absolutely.
But that's another conversation for another day.
Exactly.
All right, you can tap into it a little bit, but Crystal, I just tap into the actual assimilation of using those emotions to the different character cultural backgrounds.
Well, what I did was I made it more about all of the different, whether you were Cuban, Dominican, Brazilian, whatever you were, what was the one thing that we could all agree on? Was the pain, was the love, was the sadness? So making it about the emotion connection that we all share because of the half and half identity. So once that was developed more, then, you know, a Cuban could say, I love that. I could identify with Puerto Ricans who feel that way. And it was more about keeping the fact that we're diverse, but that one issue, that was the thread that helped all the way. Because like Ana Ridia said, you know, she's Dominican, I'm Puerto Rican, but we still understand that with each other because, you know, those countries come from the motherland.
Right, it's true, it's true. And so Tanish, just because you're Black Russian, how does it, you know, associate with you? I mean, just, it's obviously the motherland, that's the association. However, just the fact that you're in the presence of Black Latinas, right? Is Spanish being spoken? You speak Spanish?
Un poquito y más.
It's the second most important language in New York, okay?
Definitely. And, you know, I've learned a lot from these ladies, but I think, you know, as an artist, you are asked to step into certain situations, and I could bring some of my history to the table. But it was important that the collaboration was fresh and it was new and it was exciting as we went through these emotions.
It's wonderful. I salute you ladies, and you know, of course, the women empowerment behind it, it stands by itself as well. So where are we going to see this play, and when is it actually being revived?
We're coming back in the fall, September 4th through 8th.
Nice.
At Urban Stages on 258 West 30th Street. And the ladies will be performing for 6 performances, 5 nights. And we come back out, we do it again, we rock out.
Nice. So next time we have to have Judy Torres on the show.
Yes.
Right? We forgot to mention freestyle artist Judy Torres
is on the show. Yes, yes. And she brings an amazing. She sings. Yes.
Yeah.
She opens the show up with some song.
Now with there's no reason for you to.
She gets mad. That's our house music, and she gets mad every time we open house.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
To share what the website with everyone so they can actually review all the
www.blacklatina.movement.com.
Beautiful. Thank you once again.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Once again, you can find out more about Black Latina by going to blacklatinamovement.com, and we'll be right back.
Hey, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. I'm not only on radio, we're on TV too. Open Mondays, Channel 67. Make sure you're there.
This is so cool, Dad. Awesome. This is so cool, Dad.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of siblings in foster care who'll take you just as you are.
Yes, and the beat does go on. Our next guest received a Tony Award for his performance in Broadway's Dreamgirls. Now he's directing and co-producing the musical Pearl, which his daughter will star in. Please welcome Ben and Jenny Harney to the show. Thank you so much for coming. You know, Ben, if I had a Tony Award, I think I might keep it in my car and just show it off to everyone, you know, like, check out my Tony Award.
Yeah.
You know, what do you do with the Tony Award? Where does that go?
It's somewhere in a closet. I think my wife has it somewhere. You know, it was a wonderful acknowledgement for a season of work. We've had many seasons since then, but it is an honor to have had it.
So take me back to winning the Tony Award and basically your resume on Broadway. I know you know, modest guy, but you gotta tell everybody at home how great you are.
Well, started on Broadway when I was 18. It had been a childhood dream, and I was able to fulfill it. And once I started, my career did continue to rise and go forward. And I guess I stepped away from the industry about 20 years ago or so, and more of my work has been in ministry, actually, and in directing and producing, collaborating, developing programs for the city and for large organizations around the country.
Now, I don't have kids yet myself, but I'm pretty sure from listening to my mom sometimes, she says that it's so much better, even if you're good at something, to see that something happen in your children. So,
that's so true.
If you can, tell me a little bit about having this superstar of a daughter here.
Should I? No, okay. Jenny is a force to reckon with, always has been. And as a young girl, we knew she was going to do something. We weren't quite sure what, but we knew she was going to do something. And I think of what Whitney Houston's father said. I didn't know the girl could sing. She did everything. She started dancing at a very young age, and then one day said, "Daddy, I want to sing." We said, well baby, it's not really what you've been pursuing all these years. And then she opened her mouth, and we fell on the floor and realized that Jenny is genuinely what the industry refers to as a triple threat. And she does the work. She woodsheds. She's a brilliant artist. We're very proud to to have her in our lives, but also to produce her in this new vehicle called Pearl, based on the life of Pearl Bailey.
Now, Jenny, as a sports guy, I think I like the nickname Triple Threat, so I'm going to call you that for the rest of the segment. But talk about, having this gift and basically being involved in a family that loves music and all the talents that you have and what your dad has been able to impart to you.
Well, it's definitely been quite an experience being raised in a theatrical or an artistic family where that's pretty much the epicenter of your lifestyle. You don't, certain things that are usual or typical of a lot of other families just aren't typical in ours, and things, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. But it's been a lot of fun. It's very different. You kind of have a gypsy mentality. You learn to go with the flow at all times. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I love every minute of it. So,
tell us a little bit more about this character, because it seems like this is an opportunity for you to really spread your wings in a role like this.
Well, when we embarked on this endeavor a couple of months ago, I was really intrigued by the opportunity to focus on some solid acting and some solid research of a icon or someone, an unsung hero from a very poignant time in African American history, and she really has an amazing story to tell. So that's really what spurs me on, is the opportunity to and the privilege to represent someone so iconic to the African American culture.
So walk me through the process of being Pearl Bailey. I mean, what have you had to do to become her?
Well, she kind of talks very low and very slow. She has a southern drawl, and she's got a very dry kind of humor. And you have to, she's written 5 books. You read all her stuff. You go on YouTube. You look at all of the different things that she's done throughout history. All of the different appearances she's had on television, movies that she's done. And you kind of sink your teeth into that. And it's exciting. So.
Now, clearly drawing motivation from Pearl, but are there other places that you're getting the motivation from? Maybe Dad as well, too?
Of course. Of course. That goes without saying. I mean, that's consistent in any project that I work on, is always going back to Daddy and say, hey, Daddy, how did I do? What'd you think? Whether it's something, we've done a lot of work together, and we've also done a lot of work. I've done a lot of things outside of my father's company, and, and just seeing his opinion about those different things is very, very important to me. And I always find out what he thinks, throughout the process and at the end of the day, so I can make sure I cross my T's and dot my I's,
Dad, how important is family in a career like this? Because you spend a lot more time at work probably than you do at home, and to have a chance to have everybody kind of around, I'm sure helps out.
No, I guess the family is everything. And it really is, I guess, at the end of the day, why anybody does what they do, is to be further connected to what they regard as family. And I mean, I think I realize it more now than even what I thought I realized of it before. And it's the sharing, it's the growing, it's the challenging, it's the stresses and pushes and pulls, it's the heartaches and the great blessings and joys of sharing in life and sharing in work. It is a wonderful thing to have a legacy. My wonderful, incredible wife of 33 years, girlfriend of over 40 years, she's standing over there. I'm looking at her right now.
That's a brownie point right there.
Hey, I'm a smart man. Her mom was a musicologist. My mom was not in the arts, but she was arts bent. I mean, she was taking us to art shows, museums, and operas when I was 4 or 5 years old. New York City, of course, is rich and all that. And so at a very early age, I said, that's what I want to do. And I was blessed to be able to continue that track and work in it. And to see my family, all of my children are creative. And I think that that's an important part of who you are, is to find what is the creative. Anybody who is a game changer or makes advances in their career, I don't care how geeky or techy it is, it's because they think creatively. They think outside the box. And that's what is always key to going forward. And to be able to have that as kind of a keynote in your home and acknowledge each other's differences and their voices meaning whatever mode of expression they have, I think is an exciting part of how you share and you grow.
Jenny, I'm assuming very similar to Dad. Are there any times where maybe might butt heads a little bit on the, on the backstage?
Sure. Can you see my bruises? My scars, yes.
Well, this is very often, my father does have a theater company that's a family business. And so I've been teaching with him for a lot of years in a lot of different public schools around New York City. We actually just did a program up here in the Bronx, just a few weeks ago. It's definitely a challenge, but we've been doing it for over 10 years now. So we know the ebbs and flows. The challenge more so is when other people try to come in and work with us, because we've already got a system going. So, you know, we've learned each other very well, and I think we're a good team.
With the same token, is it difficult sometimes having a famous father and kind of being in the shadow a little bit?
Absolutely. You know, you never know when something intriguing as a Tony is in your background. You've always got to second guess your relationships and people's intentions and things of that nature. But I will honestly say I have a lot of wonderful friends who love me for who I am. And oftentimes I kind of hide that fact. I don't want nobody to know nothing, you know. And then once you've, you know, proven yourself as a good person, then you can come and enjoy the spoils of our life. So.
Well, if you know what closet that Ben put the Tony in, you could just go and take it. I mean, that's.
I've thought about it many times.
If I had that, I'd be like Flavor Flav, yo. I'll be wearing it right now.
I mean, ultimately, where do you want to go? I mean, where sky's the limit? Where?
I want to go everywhere. You know, I don't want to stay in just one thing. I want to do pop music. I want to do theater. I want to do television and movies. I want to do everything. I want to continue to teach. And I'm open to whatever avenues open themselves to me. You know, there's a lot of possibilities, and I don't want to corner myself to just one. I want to experience all of them.
Stay right here, because when we come back, Jenny Harney will perform for us. Stay tuned. More Open coming up.
Okay.
Underneath everything we are, underneath everything we do, we are all people, connected, interdependent, united. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
G-Morning, sunshine. Wakey, wakey. Text me. Are your parents home later? We can hang. LUV, love you. JK. Holla back. Holla back. Holla back. Are you with your friends? That's lame. We're in a huge fight right now. XO. What'd you dream about? Something I did. Are you on your way to the mall? I'm lonely. Nude pics. Send me some. Text me.
Welcome back to Open, everyone. I'm your host, Bobby C. Ladies and gentlemen, the triple threat, Jenny Harney.
My mama done told me, Pearl, when you go outside, be a lady. Never place your purse on the floor. Allow the man to open the door. With every dress, wear a slip. And when offered wine, only sip. See, people are always watching you, judging every little thing you do. Therefore, Pearl, mind your P's and Q's. My mama done told me, Pearl, when you go outside, be a lady. Men are always sniffing around. Some will try to bring you down. I can hear my mama say to me, why buy the cow when the milk is free? Honey, people are always watching you, judging every little thing you do. Therefore, Pearl, mind your P's and Q's. A scuba-doo-wee, ba-ba-doo-ba-ba-doo-wah. A scuba-doo-wee, ba-ba-doo-ba-ba-doo-wah. Skadoo-bee, ba-ba-doo-ba-ba-doo-wah. Dwee-da-doo-bop, dwee-da-doo-bop, bop-bop-bop. Skidilly-dilly-dee-da-doo-wah. Ba-ba-doo-ba-ba-doo-wah. Keep your head up, never be afraid of who you are. Don't let folks put you down. My mama raised me to be a lady. She taught me to stand and be strong. People are always watching you, judging every little thing you do.
Daddy's little girl, not so little anymore. Triple threat. A couple more places before we go. Where are the tickets? We got CumbleTheater.org.
Eventbrite. Pearl
PearlBailey.eventbrite.com. Go out and get those tickets. Go out and get them. Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm Steve Harvey, and you're now watching Bronx Net right here.
And welcome back to Open, everybody. The beat goes on and on and on until the break of dawn. Our Open Summer Music Series is here. Check it out. You're good, you're great, you're great, you're great. Our next guest is a talented singer, songwriter, pianist, and a violinist who has collaborated with Grammy, Emmy, and Academy Award winners throughout her career. Please welcome to the open stage, Amanda Holly. Give her a big round of applause, everybody. So when did you start doing all of this?
I started singing, I guess, before I could even speak. And started performing at a lot of town things in my I grew up in Jersey. I was born in Newark. From the time I was like 8, and I couldn't stop. Once somebody put me on the stage, I just couldn't stop. And it's been that way ever since.
Oh, you performed with a lot of people, too. Academy Awards. Just speak about that. Who are those people that you met?
We have a lot of amazing producers for the project. I'm pretty excited about it. From anybody from Grammy winners like Rob Fasari or Charlie Wallert, who did a lot of O.C. Smith and George Benson stuff. We have producers for Gaga and Beyonce and just kind of everybody. But it's going to be amazing. I'm really interested to see how everything ends up in the end.
But how does it feel working with all these notable people that you looked up to? And
yeah, over the past year, I actually got to meet Aretha a few times and got to have a brief little exchange with her, which was really inspiring. And Shaka complimented my shoes, which was crazy.
The very shoes you have on?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What did she say?
She was just saying, she's like, you have good taste, you're going to go really far. So that was very cool. Eddie Levert, I spent a lot of time with Eddie. I mean, a lot of kids my age don't know Eddie.
From the OJs.
From the OJs. My MD, my musical director, he's been with them for 30 years. So he's always just amazing. Just when I think I can't let go anymore, he gives me that behind me, and it just makes me go crazy.
So what's the name of this project that you're working on?
It's just going to be a major release. We're debating on which label right now, so I can't really say too much.
Oh, so you got a deal in the works. And look, she can't say any of these shit.
So, yeah, I really just want to reach as many people in the world as possible, and it was interesting, too, because you had them talking about the kids and working with kids, and I actually work with the Special Needs Foundation right now. I'm on the board for that, and then I'm forming a Amanda Holly Children's Foundation. So as things escalate, I really want to take care of the kids, because that's sort of, I mean, I came out of a lot as a kid growing up, and I want to pay it. Yeah, he said pay it forward, so that really freaked me out, because my mentor always said that. So.
Well, they have a gala coming up. Maybe they can get you involved in the gala.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
They're talking about it right now as we speak. See, they are.
That'd be fantastic.
See?
Well, kids are the most important people that we have in this world, because they're the ones that make the future. So
that's right.
Future society is highly appropriate.
So what happens next for you?
Next, we release a single in the fall, which is going to be Soul Singer, and I'll show you guys a little bit of it with a video in the works, and just start doing as many major appearances as possible. Beautiful. So obviously, I need to, learn how to do these camera things. I'm kind of more the shy one. It took me a second. It took me till I was 19 to even decide to pursue this. So I spent a few years
So you were singing behind the
working on
curtain
this.
for a while before you stepped
Yeah, I
out
was doing
on stage.
theater stuff and, you know, jazz. I sang with Les Paul when I was a teen, and I didn't really want to go into this, even though I'm a writer, but I was just more or less a little
so
bit.
you're out there, got the stage presence
Yeah.
and everything. You're still working on it, right?
The stage, yeah. The audiences, yeah. I'm learning about cameras. Cameras are new to me.
Don't worry about that. They're your friends.
Yeah,
Hey, Mom.
cameras are new. But the more people, the better. I love to sing to people. That's my favorite thing. So I'll never get scared of an audience. Actually,
website?
they bring out the best in
Social
me.
networking? Website?
Yeah, listentoamanda.com. And actually, that song, my Aunt Pat Holly wrote that. And
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she wrote a lot for Stephanie Mills back in the day.
Beautiful.
But she
So it's
too
in the
was
family.
like, she was like, don't do a recording industry. You know, just
It's
because
tough.
of what it's become. But you know what? I'm tough. I've been through everything.
There you go.
and
That's what I want to hear. Say, I'm good, I'm tough,
most
I'm great.
people would never have made it through my life. So I'm here and I'm standing strong and
go.
pay it forward and all that good stuff.
I love it. Amanda Holly, give her a big
He has
round of
such a
applause.
silky
everybody.
voice.
All right. You're going to take us home. I'm going to do this. You'll do that right
Oh,
after I
yeah,
finish?
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you for tuning in and checking it all out, too. And I want to thank you, our viewer, for watching. And don't forget to tune in to an all-new Open this Wednesday with our host, Darren Jaime. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the choosing. Always say, I'm good. I'm great. I'm good. I'm great. I'm strong. I'm tough. Right?
Yes.
Catch you on tonight right after the Quiet Storm with Lenny Green. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. From all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. We love you all. Amanda Holly, take us home. Give her a big hand, everybody. Here we go.
Sing it from your soul, soul singer. Sing it to the world, hey. Soul singer, we're listening, baby. Yeah. She didn't do it for the money. She didn't do it for the show. She got to hear the voices of the angels. She sang it high. She let it go all around the world. She sanctified them from the jukebox speakers. Said all your troubles, let them go. Sing it from your soul, soul singer. Sing it to the world, soul bringer. Let the haters go. Soul singer, show us what you know. Show us what you know. Oh, we're listening, baby. Yeah. He didn't do it from his teardrops. No, no. He did it from the hope inside. Oh, she didn't find it in the mirror, baby. She found it when she closed her eyes. She sanctified them from the radio. Said all your troubles, let them go. Sing it from your soul, soul singer. Sing it to the world, light bringer. Let the haters go. It's what you know. Show us what you know. Sing it from your soul, soul singer. Everywhere you go, light bringer. Let the haters go. Show us what you know. We're listening, baby. Oh, we're listening. Everybody has a little soul singer inside. Sing a sweet song in the rain. Everybody has a soul song lullaby. Keep you company. Sing it to your friends, to your mama, to your papa, little baby.